I am pretty sure we can all agree that parrying is very powerful.
Oh shit.
No better feeling than completely negating whatever the enemy throws at you and following up with your own pocket nuke. Many of you may be familiar with the mechanic, as I'm pretty sure at least at some point you have experimented with it to see what happens.
I'm so bad at it. That's... Did I... Hello! Parry, motherfuckers! That's my first parry. Holy shit. 11 hours into the game.
Whether you continue to develop your skill with the mechanic or completely ditched it altogether for more brain-dead methods of combat, like Lion's Claw, we can all agree it's fun. What some of you may be unfamiliar with is the way parrying works in PvP. And I can't blame you for that, since most web browsers today suck huge donkey balls. I mean, how are you supposed to get your Elden Ring PvP information and your gunning material in a timely and efficient manner if you're stuck with the digital equivalent of a 600-pound Redditor trying to run your errands across town for you? It's repulsive to the sight and simply not cut out for the job. Well, lucky for you, I can help you with that because today's video is sponsored by Opera GX. Opera GX is a browser designed by gamers for gamers, with features that make other browsers look like dull basic bitches. And with its more recent transmogrification, it is now more customizable than ever. You thought making your little changas in Elden Ring and modding it was peak customization to immerse and convince yourself that you're 100% not maidenless? Well, think again. You will learn what the true meaning of modding is with Opera GX's modding system. Simply go to the mod menu in the sidebar, open the Opera GX store, type in your stuff, and find whatever suits your style best. By the way, choose the Age of Stars mod or else. You can even change, mix, and combine mod features individually if you're that much of a customization enjoyer. And if not, you can just create your own mod like I did.
Oh, cool.
What really sells this browser as a gamer tool is that you can just pop out your YouTube videos when you need to do non-YouTube things, like your homework for example, ensuring that Elden Ring brain rot never stops. And we mean that because Opera GX comes with a built-in ad blocker that will bounce off ads like the shield main finger bounces off your hopes of ever getting good at this game. And if you're one of those lonely simps with attachment issues and are afraid of letting your silly default browser go, worry not, because Opera GX allows you to import all your settings and features from previous browsers. It's literally all the things you're familiar with in a much better package. What other browser has a cute waifu VTuber, huh? So what are you waiting for, silly? Break up with your goofy browser and download Opera GX through the link in the description below right now. Thanks to Opera GX for sponsoring this video. If your attention span is not in the TikTok levels, you may have noticed that something in the clip I showed at the beginning feels a little bit off. If you compare that clip to parrying something in PvE, you will notice that the timing for the PvP parry seems completely off. But what if I told you that it isn't? Let me explain how parrying works. It is actually quite simple. Whenever you parry, a large hitbox will appear for a few frames in front of you. If the enemy's weapon hitbox connects with your parry hitbox, the magic happens. This works exactly the same for all types of parries in Elden Ring, the only difference being that some parry in Ashes of War are significantly better than others by either having more parry frames or other utilities. You can check our parry tier list after this video if you're curious about which parry is the most poggers. In the clip I showed you previously, I used a dagger to parry Bloodhound's Finesse, but if we check the frames of the dagger parry animation, it doesn't seem to match up. It's as if I performed the parry much earlier than what I should have. However, it's still connected. But why? Well, that has to do with something called latency. Latency happens when you are in a session with other players, and it correlates with the physical distance the other players have with you in real life. So if you're located in Burgerland and you need to fight a social credit hoarder in China, there will probably be high latency between you both, and it goes both ways. Both of you experience latency the same way. With the magic of seamless co-op, we can see the latency of each player on top of their HP bar. Latency dictates how many seconds it takes for a non-client-sided action to take place on your enemy's screen. This is the reason why your hits appear to take time to register. It's because, well, they do. High latency can make some matches play extremely different than if they were to happen on low latency, as high latency allows for the iframes of the roll animation to overlap with each other, which is the reason why sometimes roll punishing enemies feels nigh impossible. It's because it is. It is also the reason why sometimes it feels like you have been struck by air when the enemy's weapon is pretty far from you. you. The hit did connect, but in the time it took to register, you moved away from it. Some actions are client-sided though, like the Great Sword of Damnation grab. If the hit manages to connect on your screen when the enemy is not rolling, it will land regardless of anything. In the case of parrying though, it is not client-sided. So you're going to have to predict when your enemy is going to attack and actually press the parry button in anticipation of this. How early you need to parry will depend on your enemy's latency, and the higher the number, the earlier you'll need to do it.
Oh god, I don't wanna say this.
You like to get paid, don't you?
But it's so cringe.
Just fucking say it.
But waifu, how the heck am I supposed to parry if I can't react to the attacks? Do I just mash the button like a silly goober?
Oh, my dear little pastelito de dulce de leche con almendras bañado en crema pastelera con azúcar morena y pedacitos de caramelo de coco. While using your hentai receptors to land parries is something you can reliably do in low latency, high latency will demand of you the use of something called setups.
But Ranny, what is a setup?
¿Ves, gorda pelotuda? Betty no se queja.
Anda a lavarte la argolla, tarada.
A setup is a planned move or situation created to lead into a specific outcome, usually to catch the opponent off guard or guarantee damage. Setups are used for a lot of plays in Elden Ring, but we can get the most out of them if we can actually get a parry, because criticals fucking hurt, and we'll look into that afterwards. The highest benefit of setups is that they tend to work exactly the same for all types of latencies. There are a few of them that require a bit of adjusting, but the outcome is usually a parry. The most common parry setup is also my favorite, and I like to call it the attack parry. All you need to do is hit your enemy with a weapon to trigger a stun animation, wait for the enemy to mash, and then parry. The timing required depends on what weapon the enemy is using, but it's a feeling that you will get with enough practice. The best part of this parry is that the timing is exactly the same for all latencies. After you press the attack button, you just wait a bit and then you parry. It doesn't matter if the enemy lives next door to you or in Saturno. As long as you get the timing right, the parry will be guaranteed. If the enemy is wearing heavy armor, you may need to use a weapon with higher poise damage to trigger the stun lock animation. The next parry setup is also guaranteed, provided you get the timing right. I like to call it the trade parry. If you happen to trade hits with someone and both of you get into stun animation, try parrying after you recover. If the enemy mashes, he's fucking dead. And if he rolls away, you're fine. Once again, the poison weapons used play a big role in the outcome, so always take that into account. For all of the following parry setups, you will need to account for latency. These will be all scenarios where you will have the time windows to safely try a parry, but latency will play a huge part, so keep that in mind. The first one is what I like to call the block parry, and it works for slower types of weapons. All you need to do is block the first hit, and if the enemy mashes, le perforas la uretra. This can be used against multiple slower weapons such as great swords, great katanas, curved great swords, etc. Of course, since receiving an attack is not client-sided, you need to adjust for your timing for latency and delay your parry if needed. The rule of thumb here is that the lower the latency, the more you're going to have to delay your parry. Don't try to do this against colossal swords or weapons though, as the block stun is just too long for you to parry afterwards. Next, we have what I like to call the nanomachines parry. You tank the fuck out of the first two hits and then you parry the third one. Don't fuck with this, Senator. The way this works is by making use of the passive poise. Most fast weapons have a poise breakpoint of 88 points, whether two-handed or not. This means that while the first hit of a fast weapon may put you in stun lock, if you have 88 poise or more, the next attack won't. If we use this to our advantage, all you have to do is either tank or block the first hit, take the second one to the chest, and parry the third one. Once again, the timing for this will change depending on which fast weapon you are tanking and the latency your enemy has, but pulling this shit out is pretty badass, not gonna lie. Nanomachines sus. Finally, the roll parry is one of the most obvious ones. When an enemy rolls, there's a high chance they will attack after rolling, so if you are expecting a rolling attack, simply adjust for latency and the weapon your enemy is using and parry the fuck out of them. That's literally it. It's pretty fucking stupid to be honest, but it works. Now that you know all the methods for parrying, you need to know what you should riposte with. There's a little parameter for every weapon called critical boost. Most weapons will have a critical boost of 100, which means regular damage, but others will have a higher crit boost, such as the Misericord dagger. This crit boost is so massive that it doesn't matter if a weapon has much more AR than the Misericord. The Misericord will still outperform said weapon when riposting. It gets even more ridiculous if you infuse the Misericord with an element, as for some reason, split elemental damage will tremendously increase your your riposte numbers. And finally, if you want to crank it up to 1 billion, the Dagger Talisman will increase that number even further. Que rico, la reputa madre. But before you start spamming parries like your average Redditor trying to avoid the shower droplets, keep in mind that not all weapons can be parried. Most notably, two-handed colossal swords and weapons are completely unparryable. Nearly all of the jump attacks are also unparryable, with the exception of Rakshasa's Great Katana, for some reason. And of course, flails can't be parried either, but you will never catch anyone sleeping with that. So all of this poses the question, are parries even worth using in real combat? Well, yes and no. I mean, if you manage to land a Misericord riposte, it's pretty much game over for the victim. The problem is that every player you encounter will have different weapons and different latency, so regularly pulling them off will require a lot of practice. When you take into account the state of Elden Ring's netcode, parries become a bit of a high-risk, high-reward thing. I do not recommend you make it your main thing when invading at high levels, because one small fucking mistake can get you blendered.
What the fuck?
But doing it in duels or lower tiers of the PvP bracket, hella fun. So that's what we're gonna try today. We are taking our level 50 Vagabond with a focus on Vigor, and we have a Lightning Misericord to cheaply do our dirty deeds, and the Dagger Talisman to maximize riposte damage. Curry. Hehehe. Bomba. What are you gonna do with that horse? Hey, get down from there. Bye-bye. Hey, you.
And another one.
Bye-bye. Hola. Ow, Moonveil. You're out of juice, huh? Ooh, I guess I'll have to kill you normally, I suppose? Whoa, yes. Well, that was a riposte. Oh, come on. Hey, I parried that. Berserker. Okay, two guys. One cannot be parried. The other one can. So we're gonna have to get rid of Berserker first. Okay, you're gonna do that. I'm gonna do this. Bomba. It's your turn, big boy. Come on. There we go. Hey there. Oh my god. Please tell me you have a weapon.
No.
You don't have a weapon? Uh-huh. Can that even be parried? Good question, right? Hey, hello, how's it going?
Huh?
We gotta fight. Oh, we got a big guy as well. Please don't die. Can you heal up? Okay, drink a blue, I suppose. Yay! Bomba.
Mr. B!
Chris Handsome. They really butchered that name. Okay, Chris, come on. Ow. Be careful, don't fall. Oh! That scared me. Fuck out of here. There you go. Bye-bye. Oh, Kyo. Do you have fire powers? Attack me, Kyo. Come on. Go. Oh, that was such a nice bomba. Well, there goes Fenrir. I suppose I'll choose.
I'm dead.
There we go. Muy rico. Bomba. Come here. Uh-huh. Oh, you tried to summon there. Not very smart of you. Wait, do you have a weapon I can parry? You don't? You don't have a weapon? Bueno. Is someone else alive?
No.
Uh-huh. That's a lot of madness. Here's some more madness for you. Bomba. More madness. Bomba. Bomba. Oh my goodness. There you go. Yay. Bomba.
You know?
Gabriel. Come on, Gabriel, you can do it. Kill him. Fuck them up. God damn it, Gabriel, you're fucking useless. 1, 2. Look at him go. Insane Lion's Claw user, as always. Okay, time for you too.
Oh, fuck.
Why do you give up like that?
Fuck this battle. I don't want to win. I'm outie.
Le quack. Oh, I love Kunish the cowardly dog. Okay. Oh. Do it. Do it, bitch.
Do it again.
Okay, Le quack. Come here. What all you? Oh, you're fucking dead. Okay, the latency is really good, so I gotta time it right. Uh-huh. Oh my god! The strafings! Low latency is fucking amazing. Hey.
Fight back. Fight back.
Whoa! Okay, that was close. Okay. Yo, sword dance based. I'm impressed. I can also parry that guy. Okay, I guess music goes down first. Can sword dance even be parried? I don't know. Yeah, it can be parried. Bomba. You didn't let me get my bomba off. That's annoying. Fuck you, Johnny Bloodborne.
Fuck you, Jimmy.
Be careful, not to fall. What did I just tell you?
I'm over here stroking my dick.
Señor, this is Esparta. That was anticlimactic.